Hi, welcome back to the validation control video series. In the last videos I was talking about the page.isValid method, which you can use to check on the server if the validation controls are happy with the data that was input in them before they reach the server. So if they are happy with the data, if everything is okay on the validation controls, then this page.isValid returns true, so which means everything is okay. Otherwise it returns false. So before I go ahead with continue with my video, I want to enable my JavaScript so that everything we do can be working perfectly. So let me enable my JavaScript on Internet Explorer. If you don't know how to disable or enable JavaScript in other browsers, you can leave me a comment on the blog, and I'm going to show you. It's very easy. So now let's continue with our validation controls. One thing I quickly want to point out is that this validation control, they takes up spaces. They take your space, as you can see here. This one takes some space. So if I should add another control beside it, say for example another text box, you can see that this space has been reserved for the control to display its error message. So sometimes we might need our space, so we might not want this thing to display to always display itself. So there's a way to get rid of this space that is being taken up, because if I run my application, let me drag another text box on to this side. So let's run the application. We will see a white space. Can you see there's a white space between these two text boxes? You know, sometimes this doesn't look good, but we might want it to be close to the previous control. So how do we get rid of that? I'll show you. So when you select the required field validator or any of the validation controls, there is a property you can send, which is the display property. The display property at the moment is set to static here, which means the space will always be reserved for the error message. So if we set that one this one to let me set it to none. If we set it to none, it means we will not get the error message when it happens. So the space will not be reserved. Can you see that the white space has disappeared? And when we create an error, we will not get any error. The error is going to be happening in the background. So I'm going to tell you the situation where you need to do the none when you used to set the display property to none, and that's when you use the validation summary, which I'm going to get to in this video series. So also there is a third property that you can set, which I'm going to set on this one. So I'm going to show you. If you set the display property, if you set the display property on that one to dynamic instead of static, the dynamics allow the space to be invincible when there is no error, but as soon as there is an error, the space will be created automatically on the fly. So it's always good to show you instead of just talk about it, because action is the best. Can you see right now there's no there's no space being reserved for the error, but as soon as I click on the send, you see the errors was created on the fly and the space was created. So in my experience, anyway, I always use the validation summary. So it depends on your preference. So you can use this one if you want. It looks very nice, isn't it? You know, you just fly out from nowhere. So there is no space, and when you click on the button, you get the error. So which pushes the control to the side. Anyway, that's what I want to show you for the last thing I want to show you for the required field validator. Let's look at any other property that you might be interested in. You can actually set the appearance of the validation controls, the back color, let's set something. Let's see what it looks like. Let's set that to yellow, and you can set the border color. You can have a CSS associated with it. You can change the fonts. You can do all kind of funny things to make them look beautiful. The behavior, you can enable theming. You can enable the view state. All this time we'll be talking about them. Set focus on error. Remember, I told you this what it does. You can set the tooltip, the validation group, which I'm going to be talking about in this video series, and that's it. So let's see what it looks like now that we set the background color. So if I get an error, you see we get a yellow background, so you can make this as beautiful as you want. So but this is not time for cosmetic surgery, so anyway, so let me just leave you with this video, then I'll come back to continue with other types of validation controls. Thank you.